Hello and good morning. Happy Sacred Sunday to everyone. Thank you so much. We are going to dive right on in. This is the Coffee with Christine show, and I'm your host, Christine DeGennaro, author of Courting the Universe and Sacred Lifeless Method. And I am here with you on episode number 40 of Coffee with Christine show. And today is November the 6th of 2022. And we are going to dive on into some really, really good topics today. But I want to give you a quick warm welcome. I am hosting this podcast for women who are introverted, career minded, family oriented women who are looking to allow themselves to explore self care without feeling guilty. We talk about law of attraction and manifesting and creating the life that you really truly desire without the guilt, without feeling like you're losing your mind. And I help you find more time to spend more quality time with your families. So that is what this podcast is going to be all about, tips and tricks and little things that you can use to streamline your day, to streamline your spirituality, and really connect with the universe to start manifesting the life that you crave. So, that all being said, I love to start off each podcast with an intention, and I usually do that by pulling a tarot card. And today is the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups. I'm using my Game of Thrones deck as just about always because it's one of my favorite card decks to use. And in the picture, there are 3 wine glasses, and you can't tell who's holding them, but there's 3 and they're in cheers, and it's friendship. It's representing friendship and companionship and creativity and celebration. So today we're really going to try to focus on that. And that actually will tie in really well to the topic that we're going to be talking about today, which is your emotions. So we're going to dive really kind of down the rabbit hole on this. And it's so important as related to the topic that we spoke about yesterday. Yesterday, we were talking about the holidays coming up and how people are getting, there are people who love the holidays, there are people who hate the holidays. And it's, it's weird because it seems to really oftentimes be either you really love the holidays or you really hate the holidays. And there's a lot of emotional charge behind the holidays, which is why a lot of people are not fond of them. They hold a lot of bad memories for people and bad emotions and recalling bad times. And that's not what it's supposed to be about. So we're going to dive into the emotions behind a lot of this and hopefully give you a little bit of insight on what you can do to help you kind of work through your emotions a little bit. Okay. So as the holidays are coming up, emotions are going to be a super all-time high. So one of the things that I've learned doing this self-care challenge, doing this self-care growth, creating my programs and everything, self-care and emotions tie in together incredibly. Because if you're not taking care of your emotional health, it's such a huge component and it trickles down into all the other areas of your life. If you're not taking care of your emotional health, it's going to stop you from really living a life that you're supposed to be living. Supposed to. All right. So here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but law of attraction works in a really weird way. And it's cool once you figure out the nuances of it. When you wake up and you're on the wrong side of the bed and you're having a bad day, it's already off to a bad start. The rest of the day goes downhill, right? And it just seems like everyone's angry, everyone's frustrated. And especially you, because now you're getting the brunt of all that coming to you. The same thing happens when you're happy. When you're happy, you're encountering other people who are usually happy and bubbly and nice. And, so pay attention to that. Like, I highly recommend you guys paying attention to that. Grocery stores are going to be very much like that. So pay attention to how you're feeling and how other people are interacting with you. Now, that's not to say that you can be on top of the world and someone's going to come in and crash your party. Not going to say that doesn't happen, because it does. But pay attention to that too. Because is it your emotion that's pulling them to you, or is it your emotion that's pulling you to them? Pay attention to that. All right. So when you are putting whatever signal, whatever you're feeling is your signal to the universe. Whatever you're experiencing inside your thought process, your emotional feelings are your vibration and signal to the universe that this is what you want more of. That's how law of attraction works. It's based on your emotional vibration. You know how when you have a speaker in the car, you turn the sound up and the speaker, you see it moving? Your energy does the same thing. It's putting a signal out to the rest of the world like, hey, this is what I'm putting out. This is what I want more of. So when you're paying attention to your emotions and you're able to see the correlation between how you're feeling and how they're acting towards you, it shifts things because you start learning how to play with that a little bit. Okay. But feelings are a big thing. All right. First off, I want to let you guys know I am not a therapist. I am not a counselor. I'm a coach. I'm here to guide you through figuring it out for yourself. I'm here to hold that space for you. But it's up to you guys to make sure that you are getting the mental health support and emotional health support that you need, because it is crucial to your mental well-being to take care of yourself in that capacity. If you are feeling like a victim, if you are feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling anything even more than that, you guys need to be talking to someone who is licensed and qualified to give you the tools that you need to really work your way through that. Now, some of the things that I do with you guys, I am licensed in certified in neurolinguistic programming. So a lot of the tools that I have and I offer help. They help. They're not the be all, they're not the fix all. It's an extra tool that may help you, and add that into your toolbox for when things aren't going very well for you. So I want you to take that to heart, is that don't take my word as the be all end all on this, and get the help that you need. Okay. I encourage you so, so much to do that. All right. So that being said, I want you to know it's okay to feel whatever it is you're feeling. There is no right or wrong feeling to anything. How you feel is personal. No one can tell you how you should be feeling. And the most important thing that you can do when you recognize that you're being triggered by something, when you are hit hard emotionally, sit with it. As hard as it is, the most important thing you can do is sit with it for a minute and allow yourself the space to feel it and to process it and to just kind of like, okay, well, this is where I feel this in my body. This is where I feel this here. This is what I was thinking when this happened. Sit with it and explore it a little bit. Like, what the question that I always have for you guys is, when you are feeling really, really bad, when you're feeling like crushed and defeated, what was the thought that got you there? A lot of times, Not always, but a lot of times it will come back to the feeling of I'm not good enough. I'm a failure. I'm a disappointment. I'm not good enough. And that's such a hard and deep thing to hold on to. And when you sit there and you really take that on as your own personal mantra, I'm not good enough, that's such a hard and heavy thing for you to have to deal with and believe because you are good enough. You are magical and fantastic in all the things that you do. You have strengths, you have weaknesses, just like everyone else. There's no one on this planet who is completely perfect. And when you allow yourself the time to process your feelings and process your humanness, that's going to help you. Okay. So, what if you're angry? What if something that someone did made you mad? It's because you're trying to determine what made them do this thing to upset you, whether it was intentional or not. You're trying to examine their thinking process. And unfortunately, that's not something that you're privy to. And it's something that's out of your control. And when you are focusing on things that are out of your control, it makes you feel bad. Plain and simple. It makes you feel bad when you are trying to understand things that are out of your control. All right. The thing that you do have control over is how you feel. And it takes work, but it takes the first step as recognition. And that's why it's important to be able to sit with your feelings. Okay. Now, that was point number one, was it's okay to feel whatever it is you're feeling. Okay. Number two, understand what you're feeling is just a way of letting you know you're off track. That's it. That's all it is. When you feel bad, you're off track. We're here and we're supposed to feel good. We're here and we're supposed to feel loved. We're here and we're supposed to feel, and I say supposed to because that's what they tell us we should. All right. All I know is when it comes to manifesting, the happier I am, the better things that pull into my life. And I want you guys to be able to see that correlation as well. So take time, understand what you're feeling, and just understand while it's okay for you to feel what you're feeling, it's okay to not feel bad. It's okay to feel better. And the next step is so, yeah, it's okay to be off track. That's it. You feel bad, you feel angry, you feel frustrated, you feel upset. You're off track. We're going to get you back on track by guiding you through this next step. All right. I want you to, step number three, let the thought become clear. What was the thought that led you to feel like, ugh, I feel this in my heart and I feel like this? What was the thought? Was it, I'm not good enough? Because if that was the case, in a way, you know that that's not right because it doesn't feel good, right? So if that doesn't feel good, work your way back a little bit. Well, I know I'm always trying and I know I'm always giving my best. And I know that no matter what I do, sometimes it's not going to be good enough for some people. But I know I'm proud of myself for doing what I've done or doing my best. And when you walk yourself through that process of feeling a little bit better, it's called self-soothing. And when you're self-soothing, you're able to see the patterns, you're able to see why you got upset, what the thought was that got you upset. And you're not going to be able to fix it right away. But having that recognition and knowing that this situation in particular, this pattern, this thought process and this mindset in particular doesn't feel good. And you're going to spend less time there. Make that determination that you're going to spend less time in being angry and sad and frustrated. And, for some people, depression is not only an emotional, but it's also a physical thing too. So I want you to know that, sometimes just getting up and doing something like brushing your teeth is enough to get the momentum going. Getting up and getting out of bed and making your bed is enough to get the momentum going some days. And if that's all you can do on days where it's really hard to just even get out of bed, celebrate that. Celebrate the little things that you can do to make yourself feel better. Because the better you feel, the better vibration you put out, and the better things that are going to start coming to you. Okay. Do something today that is going to make you feel a little bit better because you deserve to feel good. All right. And one of the things that I've noticed is that people get stuck. You get stuck in feeling like a victim. You get stuck in the I'm not good enough. And I want you to know you're a warrior. You have gone through some of the hardest stuff that anyone has ever had to go through. And you've overcome that, or you're in the process of overcoming that. We're all faced with challenges. We're all faced with decisions. We're all faced with grief. We're faced with fear. But what if we make that not our normal? What if we make fear something that we experience more in passing? I just want you to know you're not alone. You have people who support you, who encourage you, and who want to remind you every single day how beautiful, how worthy, and how special you are. And if you come here every single day, I'm going to remind you that because you are and you deserve to feel good and you deserve to feel loved and you deserve to feel cherished. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing this broadcast is to help remind the women who need it that you can do it. You can overcome addiction. You can overcome physical and mental abuse. You can overcome illness. You can overcome anything that you determine you're not going to let determine your story. Okay? This is your story. This is your journey. How do you want it to end? You get to write this book. This is a book that you get to write. It's your life. You have that power. And I think we forget that we have that power. I want you to know it's okay to be off balance. It's okay to be lost. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay. But don't stay there. You're too magical to stay there. Okay? I would love to hear from you guys. I have the Coffee with Christine open door chat at 10. I would love to have you guys here. I would love to hear and get updates from every single one of you. Now, because of a lot of this emotional stuff that we've been talking about, I'm working on something really big to release for Black Friday. So I've got a really big Black Friday special coming up for everyone. So big teaser on that. And then also, last but not least, I want to remind you guys that if you are part of the school, if you've signed up for the assessment, the workbook, any of my programs, if you are in the school, do me a favor and check your spam because I'm having some issues with the emails going through, and I want to try to see if we can get that addressed. If you have not been receiving any emails from me, make sure you're checking the spam folders There's supposed to be an issue with one of the links, which is bogus. So, but let me know if you've not been receiving your emails, and we're gonna try to figure out a different way of getting everyone emailed. Okay. All right, my darlings. Well, don't forget to register for your sacred lifestyle assessment. Um, Especially after this conversation, the Sacred Lifestyle Assessment is a free assessment. It gives me a really good breakdown of where you are in your life and what things you need help with. And when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling overwhelmed and alone, this list, honestly, this whole system that I've created is going to help, because what it does is it gives you control over some things that you actually have control over: your health, your home, your spirituality, and your faith. It helps build that into a balance for you. So even if something outside is like ripping your world apart, you have your core list of things that you need to do every day that will help you stay on track when things get crazy. And it'll help you restore not only that physical world balance, but that emotional and spiritual world balance too. Okay. This list is so helpful. Take the assessment and I'll help get you started on the journey for it. And it meets you wherever you are. If you are just looking for a tool, I've got plenty of tools that would be helpful resources for you. If you want a full program, I have a full program for you. So there is something for everyone at whatever stage you're in, and it's going to help. Okay. Take the assessment. Let me see how I can help you, because holidays are coming. This is a rough time of year. I want you to have everything that you need to really feel better during this season. Okay. I love you all so much. This is a lot longer than it usually is. So thank you all for hanging out and watching. You guys are the best. Go and have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. We are going to be going and doing our coffee chat at 10 o'clock. Link is going to be all over Facebook. So make sure you guys pop on in. I posted that link yesterday. I'll go ahead and refresh that and get you guys all started on all of that. Okay. So 10 o'clock, I will see you for coffee. I'll see you all in a bit. Love you lots. Bye.